All right, a little Beach Boys for some Christmas music. It's a quick little song. I like that kind of stuff on the air. Yes, Khafre J is joining me, activist, rapper from hiphopforchange.org, entrepreneur, I would say, right?
I'll take that.
Right? I mean, you started a business, nonprofit business.
Yeah, working on it.
Again, their show the 28th at the Elbow Room on Valencia Street, a hip-hop holiday party. Stay tuned. I see some callers, but I'm going to give away a couple of pair of tickets at the end of the interview. So I'll give out the number and you can call back in. Let's just go over some news here for the next couple of minutes. I'm sure you probably heard about this. Some of these news stories, by the way, are from 2 weeks ago because I meant to do it last week, but I had to cancel the show due to my cat and a car accident. But so one of the things that happened just in the past couple of days that was really interesting, over the weekend, people found out that if they'd purchased anything at a Target from November 27th to December 15th using their debit card or credit card, that there was a really good chance that all their information got stolen. And basically people started finding credit card numbers and the passcode and all that stuff on these like hacker websites.
Yeah.
So right now, if you made a purchase, I'm sure you're already aware, but if you made a purchase between those 18 days, what will happen is people are bunching up as many credit card numbers and passcodes or PIN codes, and then they sell them as like a big block to some criminal, and then
usually around $1 a piece, I heard.
Is that what you heard?
Yeah, I heard about $1 a piece. I mean,
well, I heard they're going for like thousands of dollars, but that's because you're buying thousands of. I mean, 40 million passwords and credit cards were stolen.
Yeah,
so.
And actually, it turns out that somebody probably had to work on the inside because they got this malware into the target system. So they took their names, addresses, their card numbers, their security codes, and everything. We're real behind in America on security with our stuff. We're still using these swipes with magnetic fields. In Europe, they have the chips where you have to enter in a PIN. So no matter if they steal your information, they still can't get at it. So we need to step our stuff up. Also, I don't know. I'm not dealing with this because, for one, Christmas isn't something I intend to dip my pockets into, false holidays. But another thing is I don't work with credit cards either, so I'm not tripping. But to all you guys that did get messed up, I apologize that you went through that. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I just think, this mass capitalist holiday is, setting people up for these scams like this. People are out there, they're ready to take all your money, and it's real easy to do it when 2/3 of America starts spending a lot of money at one time. So.
Right, and not only that, this was a very orchestrated plot by some people that knew of the loopholes that people would not be checking. I mean, one of the most amazing, I'm always shocked when I make a purchase because I use a credit card or debit card, and the people just casually swipe it and don't even ask for ID.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where your signature goes into an electronic pen, and nobody even does a serious signature anymore because it's going through this weird electronic system. So it's just very, it's too easy to do this. So there's obviously going to have to be a big change as far as the technology with purchasing goes from now on.
Good luck with that. Systems don't change quickly, man.
No, it'll take a while. And but just for some of those out there who did get affected, if you go to Target's website, they'll help you hopefully find out whether or not you were a victim, and they can give you some information. So go to Target's website if you did have a problem. And over the weekend, they did offer 10% discount to all U.S.
that's because they
shoppers.
lost 3 to 4% of their business.
Probably,
because of that.
Yeah. That sounds like a good number to 10%. That's a good number to.
Well, I'll tell you this. Anybody who did lose their information, they're not legally liable for any of that.
Oh, no.
So that's the good thing.
That is the good thing.
It only hit Target, so whatever.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. This was big. I wanted to bring this up because I'm a big fan of this topic, but this happened 2 weeks ago. Uruguay became the first nation to legalize marijuana. And what I found interesting was about a month ago I read that when the 1st of January hits, that Denver will actually be, Colorado will be and Washington will be the most safest spots for marijuana in the entire world. I wasn't aware that there were not any nations or states, well, I knew states, but other countries that had not legalized it. So Uruguay kind of beat them to the punch. They voted this in a couple weeks ago after a 12-hour debate, and they will be Uruguayans will be allowed to buy up to 40 grams of marijuana a month, and you have to be over 18. And a lot of people are saying this is the best way to fight the drug war, which I think is becoming a bigger and bigger sign that the world is going to change and the drug war is going to end. But there are a couple people that are saying it could result in bigger problems. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it's cool. In the timeline of a year, 2 states and an entire country legalized pot, not just decriminalized. So things are moving fast, I think, on that.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a nation that has the interest of their people at heart a little bit more than we do, you know.
Poor South America has to pick up the death toll for all these drug wars that we fight. I mean, tens of thousands of people die every year from...
I mean, the problem is that the cost is going to be passed on to somebody, whether, you know, it's with people losing their heads or, you know, the drug cartels. Our environment, I mean, look at hemp. Hemp could, you know, there's more fiber per acre, you know, for hemp than anything like forests or trees like that. We could do so much. We can make so many things with medicines. They're doing studies now on the intracannabinoids that comes in our body and how marijuana actually interacts with our system. So we're talking about if we did legalize that, number one, we would have our prison population go down drastically. We'd be saving billions, if not way more.
That's true.
We'd be keeping families intact. You know, we'd actually be treating people if they really need help with marijuana, which there are some people that out there. Don't laugh, people. There's some people that need help with that. And, you know, I don't know. It goes to show when we do legalize things, it gets better in a lot of different ways. So, I don't know. Go Uruguay.
That's...
Go Colorado.
Well, South America, I think, is going to have to take the lead on this. And in the meantime, Colorado and Washington have legalized it. So we'll see what happens in the next year or so. This was big. I just talked to John B. about this, and he had some interesting commentary. This was a week ago from last Friday, but Beyonce just released this album out of nowhere. A lot of people were expecting an album, but nobody was expecting an album to be released without any uproar or promotion. So it came out 2 weeks ago, and it's a 14-track album just called Beyonce. And in addition to the songs, she already filmed 17 music videos, basically one for each song. And she's calling it a visual album, and it skyrocketed, and sales are off the charts, and it's got all kinds of cameos and people on it. And it just seems like this might be the new way of album sales for the people who can afford to forego all the promotion. Because I've always thought how annoying it is that you hear a song on the radio, on the corporate radio, basically, and they play it into the ground, and that's supposed to be the first single for an album. And then out comes the second single before the album is even available for purchase. They run that one into the ground, and then when the third one comes out, that's when the album comes out. But I've already heard a fifth of the album, and I'm annoyed by it. So, you know.
Well, more power to Beyonce, man.
Definitely.
Number one, I mean, she's definitely got the status to be able to do something like this.
You gotta, exactly.
Which is awesome, you know. I mean, and it also goes to show she angered a lot of people. I mean, Target, who we were just talking about, is boycotting her album. They're not putting it in their stores because she didn't give it to them.
I heard that.
Didn't license with them.
Right.
And she went with iTunes first. But
it's funny, Target.
I know, right?
Loses out on a big album and horrible with credit cards.
I don't know. I just give it up to Beyonce, especially, you know, she's got a lot of good stuff for the young girls on that album. She had that TED Talk by that feminist lady about neo-feminism, and I know that she's getting there's a lot of people talking about her and her feminism. You know, some people are calling it kind of they're saying she's kind of being hypocritical when she's prancing around, you know.
I think she's pretty tame, in my opinion.
A lot of people are worried about hypersexuality, but I mean, if you want to talk about neo-feminism, I mean, people saying women can't show their bodies and be out there is, you know, not really cool. And I guess America is trying to find their way around how they feel about feminism. But, you know, just to have positive messages like that on the album to kind of buck the normal system, I give Beyonce props.
Me too. And
girl.
She may have seriously altered the music industry for the rest of history. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, social media, if you can put it out there like that, go for it. I mean, we have Kanye West saying that, you know, he's getting mad because the system won't invest in him. They won't let him get his shoes out there.
Right.
Yada, yada, whatever, Kanye. But, you know, Beyonce, I think she took that step that Kanye needs to take. Just put your stuff out there, man.
And also, I mean, like we were just saying, Target got upset with her because they went. But who would we rather pick at this point to release your album? iTunes and Apple or Target?
Yeah.
Not that many people, unfortunately, go to buy an album anymore, an actual physical album.
That's the truth. I mean,
so
there's so many ways to get it for free. But I don't know. The most important thing is the music, not these corporations that try to take every little dime and cent that you can. Even if you're hugely rich like Beyonce, are broke like all of us,
She could afford to make that move and have it completely bomb if it did, but obviously it didn't. So that's why it had to be somebody with a lot of swag to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, my next album, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could become that. I mean, we'll see what happens. But
it's gonna become that anyway. I ain't messing with no labels, man.
I've just always thought the idea of exposing 2 of your songs and just beating into the ground is a bad idea. And also, I'm a huge music video fan, so I think releasing more music videos, and in fact a music video for every song, is really smart. I think the way people absorb music now, it's not just through the earphones anymore.
Yeah, you got to get it to them every single way, shape, and form possible. I mean, it's the same with advertising or just with your medium. So, I don't know. I cannot wait till I get to the point where I can make a video for every single song. I've thought about it forever. One of these days.
Well, also, if you release everything at once and all the albums, music videos at once, then you kind of let the people decide what the hits are and what the singles are, rather than having Cumulus and Clear Channel decide this is what people want to hear.
Yeah, we love them, huh?
So last story here, and I'm a little sad about it. This isn't really a sports story. It's more of a San Francisco story. But Candlestick Park is hosting the last sporting event. Unless there's a technicality in the NFL, this will be the last sporting event.
Unless a couple people lose and we kick a little bit more behind than it's expected.
Right, but all things considered, and this is going to be the last sporting event, Niners game tonight in San Francisco. Though the saddest part about it for me is that there won't be any football in San Francisco for hundreds of years, maybe.
Right. The saddest part for me, man, is that we got bought and sold out by a company basically that took San Francisco for hostage.
Yeah.
This is happening all over the nation with sports teams and the people who own them. They go to the city and they say, hey, you got to build us a new stadium. You got to put a certain amount of tax dollars into it so it doesn't cost us anything. And if you don't, we're going to move our team across to the next city or something like that. They had so much money ready to invest into Double Rock, that neighborhood down there that's so impoverished and underdeveloped. And it was going to go to actually lifting that community up. It was going to keep the team in SF. It was going to keep that stadium 5 minutes from my old house.
Right.
And we lost it. And, the voters voted to keep it in here.
Yep.
And I don't know what backroom deal happened, but now we're out of stadium.
In Santa Clara
is
40 miles away.
40 miles away. They are going to be balling. They're going to be the smallest city with a huge high school, new high schools, new public facilities, and all this revenue that we just lost is going to go to them. And Santa Clara is cool. I'm not trying to hate on them.
No. In fact, my opinion on all this is if you're going to do this and you're going to move a franchise away from the city that it is, then I think you should be forced to change the name.
Yeah.
That's where the money comes in. It's like, we're not going to change the name, but we're going to move the city, team 40 miles away.
I'm conflicted with that, too, because it can never be anything but the SF Giants. There's no team in Santa Clara. Come on, even if they have the stadium, you know what I mean. But I think the worst part about that is the people in that neighborhood in Double Rock, Sunnydale,
missing out.
Hunters Point.
I mean, San Francisco's missing out on all this money.
Absolutely, and barring all the dot-commers and those new cats that are moving in and gentrifying and making SF a horrible place.
That's the amazing thing is you'd think it would have been like easy, and they would have built this stadium here and just gentrified that area or something, but they didn't even do that.
Well, I mean, it's like a $500 million hostage situation that just went all wrong for the people who need it the most, those people in those neighborhoods right next door to the stadium. Candlestick is where it's at. It's where it always will be, and if you're down there, I'll see you tonight.
I've got some information here I just wanted to go over. It's kind of like a memorial for Candlestick Park. Originally built for the San Francisco Giants, they played there from 1960 until they moved into their new stadium. So originally it was a baseball stadium, which I wasn't completely aware of. They agreed to build the stadium if the San Francisco Giants moved from New York. Most of the land at Candlestick Park was purchased from Charles Harney, who was a local contractor. I think the cost of the entire thing was $100-something million. This man, Harney, who purchased the land in 1952 to create an industrial and like a rock quarry. He only made $2 million on this by selling his land. So very, very different times. Yeah, like I was saying, it was built for baseball. I didn't know this. Vice president at the time, Richard Nixon, threw out the first pitch there.
Okay.
That's interesting.
During love him.
No, whatever. During the Loma Prieta earthquake, which was 7.1 on the Richter scale, nobody was injured in Candlestick. And there's all this talk that it's such an antiquated building, but actually it was very safe. Al Michaels and Tim McCarver, who were the broadcasters at the time, credited the stadium's design for saving thousands of lives.
Yeah.
In 1999, the Giants unfortunately left. Well, they did get to stay in San Francisco. The Beatles, obviously, everybody talks about this, gave their final full concert. I wonder exactly what that means. In 1966 on August 29th. So lots of good moments there. And I think the saddest thing for me is that they're just basically going to demolish it very soon. Like within months, they're going to start.
Oh, yeah. That thing is going to be gone so
I don't know
soon.
why you can't just make it a memorial or...
Well, the thing is this. I mean, we lost that battle. Corporations, great, awesome. Those people are amazing. But I think what I'm hoping for is what's going to happen next. I mean, right across the street from there is the Double Rock Project. They need so much help, so much assistance, so much investment. What is going to be built there that's going to lift up the people in that community? I don't know. And I don't really have any hope for it being something that's really amazing for those people, because people in those communities, people in the hip-hop community over there, urban, ethnic people, they don't really have their politicians' ears like everybody else does. So,
well, I mean, I'd like to keep hope alive for something to come in there and help that area, but it's not going to be a sports stadium. That's unfortunate.
That's the case, man.
Well, Khafre, thank you so much for coming in. Again, hiphopforchange.org, Hip-Hop for Change, at Hip-Hop for Change on Twitter, but the change is spelled CHANGE. Find them on Facebook. Again, December 28th at the Elbow Room on Valencia Street, a hip-hop holiday party. B-Pause, Tahaj the First, Seneca, Mint Rock, and Flint the Bottom Hammer.
Davu Flint and the Bottom Hammer.
Got it. That's a cool name.
Second Floor Samurais.
Okay, all kinds of guests are going to be there. It's going to be great. If you give us a call right now, 415-346-5376. I'll have a pair of tickets for you if you're one of the first two callers.
Real hip-hop.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Again, have a great holiday. I'll be back next week, and we'll do some New Year's prep. Here's one last Christmas song for you today. Take care. Have a safe holiday, and I will be back next week. You're listening to KPOO, San Francisco 89.5 FM.